Steve Cooper gone. What do you think, Brian?
Oh, you are a disgrace! Hey, Buzz! For missing the target from there, you want bloody shooting!
But how do you react, though, when someone, from your playing staff comes in and says, boss, I think you're doing this wrongly?
Good. Well, I ask him which way he thinks it should be done. We get down to it, and then we talk about it for 20 minutes, and then we decide I was right.
First of all, I think we've got more skillful players than you to take corners, and secondly, you're one of the best in the club. Get in there. That's what I pay you for.
Big up, everybody. Yeah, I'm the Yeti, and just heard some news that it looks like Cooper's being fired. Well, it says Fabrizio Romano says that he was fired last night. I don't know what there is in that. There's no official on the actual website, but it's being said everywhere, so it's definitely, I would say it's definitely happened. So I just wanted to do this video basically to say massive thank you to Steve Cooper. I mean, you've got to take into account, I know feelings get in the way and all that kind of thing, but at the end of the day, nobody's bigger than the club. If the club's going in the wrong direction, and also there's the newspapers are going crazy now. There's talks of battles for leadership in the ground and players falling out with him and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they're just going absolutely ham now on reasons for why it went wrong and all that kind of stuff. But that's what you expect from the media, because they're nothing but little termites who, just jump in and try and eat every little thing that don't belong to them. I mean, the media are just full of shit, and they're always going to jump on things and come to their own conclusions. Whether there is a fallout with the players or what, I have no idea. I really don't. But as for that, it looks like possibly Nuno Santos is going to be taking over, who knows Morgan Gibbs White pretty well, to be fair. So, I mean, at the end of the day, nobody's bigger than your club, and I can see people getting annoyed that he's been taken down. How you doing, Si? You all right, mate? How you going, buddy? You might get new manager bounce now on Saturday, mate. It's depending on how it goes. How you doing, gaming with Javino? Good to see you, man. Giovanni, sorry. Giovanni. Fucking hell, I can't even speak. But yeah, so I've got to give respect to Cooper, man. He allowed us to dream again. I mean, there was a point where when we was in the championship and it just kept going wrong, where I was thinking we're never going to get in the Premier League again. You know what I mean? I'm never going to see Forest in the Premier League. And he did that, and he took us from bottom of the table, and he got us promoted. It then kind of went wrong because a lot of our players was on loan, and we weren't able to keep the squad together. So he had to buy in like 20 to 30 players and build a team. And I'll give anybody, to be able to do that. Even Potter's trying to do it now, and he's struggling. And Cooper managed to do that. And even though we stayed in the league just by, 1 or 2 points or whatever, we still stayed in the league. But it needed this season to be better. It needed this season to be getting top 10, sort of just moving up. But, just so we wasn't anywhere near the relegation zone. I personally thought he would get fired if he dropped into the bottom 3. But then again, you drop into the bottom 3, it's difficult to get out. So, in all due respect, a lot of people won't like this, but I think it is the correct decision. to be quite honest with you. It wasn't looking good. The passion was there against Spurs, but the quality wasn't. And it doesn't matter how much passion you've got. If you haven't got that quality, you're not going to get anywhere, are you? You're not going to manage to do anything. So, you've got to have both. And at the minute we haven't, and it's just not working out. Now, we're Nuno Santos is concerned, like I say, he knows Morgan Gibbs White. I did like the way he got the Wolves players playing, and they was all playing for each other. And he don't take no shit either. He just wants his players, and he gets so angry when they don't do what he wants them to do. Is he still the man who was manager of Wolves? I don't know, but that's something we're going to find out. But Spurs for me was too big a job, same as Potter was too big a job for Chelsea, in my opinion. And I think they would do better in a club like ours, somebody who's trying to progress. Same as like with Potter. I mean, Potter would have been my ideal choice, to be honest. But with talks being held about Man United at the moment, then I don't think that was ever going to happen. A change was due. In a dream world, you want to just keep hold of Cooper and just see how he gets on, and if he puts us in a bad situation, and then just stick with him. But football doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? The chairman, the owner, spent a lot of money. He spent a lot of money, and that's another thing with Santos that I like as well. You know, he does actually, where Santos is concerned, he does actually, it tends to pull in good players, I have noticed. So it's going to be interesting. You can come on if you want early doors, have a bit of a chat about what's going on. Big up to you, early doors. Big up to you, Taib. But yeah, I mean, like I say, at the end of the day, he allowed us to dream again. We're in the Premier League and we want to stay there now. I mean, otherwise last season was for nothing. So you've got to sort of look at it like that. Would I wanted to keep him? Yeah, but then again, that's the art speaking over the mind, over the brain. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a results business, and the results haven't been good enough. And you're only as good as your last results. And his last results have not been good enough, and we are heading down to that spot again. Now, there's 3 teams in the bottom 3 that don't look great at all, but even they're making changes that could all of a sudden, spring them up as well. So, I mean, you've got to be proactive, and I think in that respect, I think it's the right choice. And big up to Steve Cooper. Wish him luck wherever he goes. Erin could be England, or it could be Palace. So, I mean, and most Palace fans are saying, "Oh my days, we don't want him." But I mean, well, that's up to them. I mean, he has been a good manager for us, and he did build a good team as well. Yeah, do you prefer Nuno or Potter? Personally, I'd rather have Potter, to be quite honest with you. But I think they've already got that. Them wheels are already turning. I mean, according to Fabrizio Romano, he was fired last night. He was actually fired last night, is what it says on Twitter, and it says story confirmed as well. So Nuno must maybe they tried to speak to Potter. I don't know, but I know Potter's in the target of Man United at the moment, isn't he? So maybe. I mean, I think it'd be stupid for Potter to go to Man United. I'll be honest. I think it'd be absolutely stupid. I think it'd be much better with a team like us who are trying to progress and trying to build something than go to a Manchester United where the expectation is huge. It's massive with Man United. And all them players, are they going to listen to Graham Potter? Do you know what I mean? Like Lee said the other day, Casemiro. Who's Graham Potter? Who's Graham Potter? You know what I mean? I mean, that's another thing that you have to take into account. Like I say, I would much prefer to have Potter, to be honest. But at the end of the day, I did like Santos for Wolves as well. So I suppose it's just going to go down to whether he can actually make the correct moves and things like that. And like I say, yeah, I'll jump on, mate, if you have the link. Yeah, okay, mate, I'm just going to send the link through to you. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you can be as emotional as you like, and most Forest fans are being. But at the end of the day, it's all about Forest. It's not about Steve Cooper. There's only one man that there's only one man that gets more, respect than that could even challenge being bigger than the club, and that's Brian Clough. You know what I mean? That's not Cooper. So that's just my 2 pence on it. Where are you on here? Hold up, let me just see. Here you are. Here you are. The cat's being sick. Bloody marvellous. All right, okay. Right, okay, mate. The link's in the chat. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's have a look. So what? Yeah, I'll jump on, mate. Right, nice one. And Taib says United need to explore other continents to find a good coach. I agree with you. I think it's it's far too big a job for Potter. You wouldn't want to go jump in there, would you? I mean, man, Anthony, Rashford, they're not going to listen to Graham Potter, are they? Let's face it. Don't even listen to Ten Hag. Agree, Yeti. Others around are making moves in. You're kind of doing the same. Getting sucked into that bottom three will be terrible. The championship is a bugger to just bounce back out of. Absolutely, but if you look at the championship at the minute, I mean that's a really good point. That is, because it's a point I was going to make the other day. If you look at the championship at the moment and the teams that are at the top, pretty much most of the already Premiership situated teams, the Southamptons, the Leicesters, the Leeds, they're all on the verge of coming straight back up. So next season, if it's them teams coming up, they ain't going to be sitting in bottom three. There's not going to be another Luton, Sheffield United, who's the other one? Burnley. It's actually going to be teams that are ready for the Premier League and have been in the Premier League before. So they ain't going to just come in and they're already situated for Premier League. So it's just going to get more and more difficult, to be honest. So we've got to start substantiating ourselves and putting ourselves in a good spot. So that's another thing to take into account. So, well brought up on that, because sooner or later, the teams that come back up are going to be the teams that already know what the Premier League's all about. So they're not going to be messing around. Big up to you, Malto. How you doing, mate? You're good, pal. Taib says, Yeti, would you probably agree with me? I think it's time Forest get European footy next season. I think, we'll have at least 2 or 3 good seasons with you lot. Yeah, I think so as well. I think so. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to... hold up. I'll put it in your... Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's in there, mate. I've done your... Yeah, it's on yours. It's in your Instagram. Put it in twice now. Sorry, mate, not seeing the link, or am I blind? It should be in there now, mate. I put 2 in there. Yeah, all is well. Hey, chat. Big up to Maltor, big up to Tai, big up to Sai, big up to Gaming with Giovanni, and also Taib and Early Doors. Cheers for coming in, guys. Really appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, it's just I think it was the right time. A lot of fans won't agree with that, but whatever. Fans don't agree with a lot of things, but you've got to think with your head and not with your heart. And Marianakis is well known for firing managers. So how Steve Cooper got away with it last season, I don't know. I think that was the fan base. But the problem is, I think it also got taken into account that he signed 30 players and made a team. So it was difficult. But this time, the unfortunate thing for Cooper is this time, it was basically down to the fact that he actually got the players he wanted. And he got the team he wanted. Yes, he's got injuries to a one. Everybody's got injuries. You can't use that as a excuse. You've got to motivate the rest of the team. Auto correct. Hit the thumbs up, guys. Yeah, hit the likes. Subscribe to me. I'll subscribe to you. And yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Early Doors is here. Right. I'm just going to introduce Early Doors.
How we doing, mate?
Hello.
Have I got my mic on?
Yeah, I can hear you now, mate.
Brilliant. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I just thought I'd do a video just to speak about it. And I mean, what do you think about it?
I think he was on borrowed time with the results, and I suppose with the chairman, you're given the vote of confidence, but we know where that always ends up. I think he was given a fair chance to progress from that point onwards, but it just I think you said last night, apart from a 1 year being out of the way, no one else is really kind of scoring the goals.
Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? And I also think, I mean, a lot of a lot of Forest fans. I mean, a lot of them are fucking idiots anyway, to be honest. But probably I am as well to them. But never mind. But the fact of the matter is like there's a lot of bad signings as well. Turner, I mean, you had I forgot the guy's name who we got on loan from PSG last season. We had Henderson, and we had do you know his name? I can see his face, but I can't think of his name. But anyway, there was two quality class goalkeepers. Yeah, we lost Henderson to an injury. Who basically Henderson did wonders for us last season, and we should have rolled the boat out while we're looking at your cakes or whatever they are.
I had no idea what's going on there. What that was all about? I had no
I
idea.
don't know. Your camera's deciding to sell me some candles. For looks on
What
it.
the? What's that going on?
Well, candle advert going on now.
That's better.
But yeah, I mean, it's like you had those players last. Does anybody know the name of that goalkeeper we had last week? Because it's last week. I mean, last season, because it's doing me head in there. But yeah, we had them, and then basically we get Turner, who I'm sorry, he's just a prat. I mean, some of the stuff he decides to do is just ridiculous. He just panics too much for my liking. And then you've got Odyssey Dave or whatever his name is. I mean, he looks decent. He looks a decent shot stopper and everything. But again, he makes terrible mistakes. So two bad choices in goalkeepers. Traore from Arsenal. I'm sorry, I don't rate. He never covers his fullback position. He always goes inside and leaves the fullback to cross. What you doing, man? That's your job. Chris Woods, 15 million. Divock Origi.
Yeah, what's he been doing? I think what's he featured twice?
Collecting a wage, I think. That's about all I can see him doing, to be honest. Not done anything. But like I say, he has only played twice, and I know you have this thing, they have to be match fit and all this, that, and the other. Back in the day when we was at school,
yeah.
When you went out playing on the field and stuff, you had 11 aside or whatever. Was you able to put the ball in the net? Because I was.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't have to be match fit. Crazy.
It is weird they're doing this, but I say give the chairman his due. He give him a fair crack of the whip.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You as a chairperson, I suppose you can only offer that much, and if it's still not happening, then it's time to go.
Well, I mean, I think Cooper made a big mistake the other week, to be honest, and he came out with something that he wouldn't normally say. Now, it's obvious you're going to tell the players that wasn't good enough against Fulham, right? But he actually said it in the press that I've told the players that this club does not accept that level of performance and all this, that, and the other. And the thing is, he's going to do that anyway, but coming out and saying it, if the players then don't, you've kind of screwed yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. What I mean? But what happens now? I have no idea. Nuno will come in. I did like the way he used to set up for Wolves. I liked the way he used to get the best out of them, and I liked the players he pulled in as well. I think there was what was the guy's name who I can't remember names today. What was the guy's name who went to Saudi? Nuno Benitez, was it? No.
Oh, the Wolves player you're on about, yeah.
What's his name? I can see his face as well. I can see everybody's face. I can't think what
was it Neves? Was it Neves?
Ruben
Neves.
Yeah. He brought in a lot of really good, talented players. Pedro Neto, who everyone's looking at now. hopefully he decides I want him, and we pip Arsenal to the signing. That'd be amazing. That would.
Yeah, no,
You
exactly.
know what I mean? But yeah, I mean things change, and and like I say, nobody's bigger than the club, and the club's got to stay in the league, and we've got to move on. And if that's Nuno Santos to do that, I'd prefer Potter. I'd be honest.
Mm,
I think he'd fit us a hell of a lot better. But he's also a bit of a he's not very strict on the players, where I
no,
think Nuno Santos will be.
yeah. Because I was just looking at him, I didn't realise that you've only won one in the last 13 matches.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez, I didn't realise it was that much.
That's what I mean, and it's all right. All the fans getting behind him and all this, that, and the other. We're back in the Premier League. There's no guarantees that we're going to go down into the Championship and smash it and come straight back up. We
No,
could get
exactly.
stuck down there again.
Wow.
And he was saved last season, which was
Yes,
amazing.
that's true.
And
true.
if you remember, I mean, I thought that it might come right because last season, before Christmas, we was doing all right. And then it was after Christmas when it really started to dip. So I was thinking, well, it's not been great before Christmas. Is it going to pick up for next? But I mean, you can't run a club like that.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
not with that. I would say just realising that. Wow, I mean that's.
I don't think there's anything you can. I don't think you can. There's anything you can fault him on. I know he's going to get a lot of stick. You're going to have to think of the right words to say in the statement and things like that. Cooper will always be in memory. If it wasn't for him, he wouldn't be in Premier League. So he's always going to be in memory. Do I think he could have gone on to do better? I think he's reached his ceiling with us.
Yeah, I think that's what they're saying here. I mean, I'm just looking at according to Sky Sports saying that his record at Nottingham Forest, 55 matches, won 12 of those, drawn 16 and lost 27. So points per game is 0.95.
Yeah. It's not good enough, is it?
No. And as you said, it gets to that stage where you're trying to change things or you just become stale and
yeah,
results don't go
exactly.
your
I
way.
mean, the thing is, we're easy to beat. I mean, we gave Tottenham everything we had. No quality. The passion was always there,
Yeah.
but there was no. I tell you, it reminded me quite a lot of the game for Stuart Pearce, the one against Derby, where the team really turned up and beat Derby, and then he was gone pretty much next. So it was like a look, we're going to give you the full on this time, but then you're gone sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sai says it'll be interesting if he could draw in some decent foreign talent. There's no value for money in UK anymore, and a couple decent signings keeps you up and maybe gives you a base to work from fresh next year. That's one of the big things that I would say about Nuno. He's got a really good scouting network because he managed to pull all those really good sort of Portuguese players in. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, who knows where we're going to go next? Or I mean, the thing that annoys me is I've just been reading that the media, like little termites that they are going, oh, they fell out with Cooper and there was battles in the dressing room for leadership and all this kind of stuff. That whether that's the case, I don't know. But they're just going to piece two and two together. Before you know it, he'll be in league with Putin or something. You know what I mean? It's
of course.
It's ridiculous the way they actually start making things up. I mean, Cooper always said that their team was all together. Everybody was together. My biggest issue with us, we can't pass.
No.
Can't pass the damn ball to each other. Know what I mean?
Which is, when you think at that level kind of thing, it's a basic skill, isn't it, really, for them?
Yeah, exactly. Just can't pass, can't score. Defending was like mishmash every now and then and all that. But you can't. You're not going to stay in the Premier League like that. And it's all right doing the same thing as we did last season, but you've got to move on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and he got all the players he wanted. You know, Sangari and all that. I mean, there was all players that West Ham was looking at, Arsenal was looking.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're all players that all these other teams looking at, and we got them. So he got his guys. He had a Wanyi. He should have gone in for. I think didn't he want that one from Chelsea Batshuayi or something?
Yeah, that's right
And
as well.
yeah, and it went downhill. But I mean, Batshuayi's never really been prolific in the Premier League.
No. I
So,
mean,
that's
we
a bit of
dodged
a
the bullet
weird one.
because we was after him and that, and I think he decided to go to Chelsea, but by the looks of it, we probably dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He did some of the ones that, and like I say, Traore. I mean, if you watch that Man City game, he completely loses. What's his face? Oh my days, my fucking football memory at the minute. Not Calvin Phillips, the Walker. He completely loses him, and he just goes in behind him. And then the second one for the Ireland goal, he don't even go out to close down the cross.
No.
I'm not keen on him. Arsenal, you can have him back, mate. I can assure you of that. Si says I fall out with the press every week. The way they push agendas, drama sells papers. Simple as all they do, stir shit. Yeah, exactly. And some creators are the same as well. YouTube creators, there'll be plenty of them coming up with different things who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I mean, Lee Gunner did a video this morning. Talking about it, and and jokingly, I've just put into his comments, keep my team's name out your fucking mouth. Full on Will Smith, Jobbo. But I mean, at the end of the day, people are going to sort of come up with conclusions and say that, oh well, Cooper was probably high on drugs or something like that, which they keep saying all the time. I don't care what my manager looks like if he's doing the right job. I mean,
That's what it takes, isn't it? I mean, we've got David Moyes.
Well, maybe they look at Alex Ferguson and think, he's tasty. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't look at any guys or anything like that and think, oh, he's ugly or he's nice or each to their own, but
exactly,
that's not my cup of tea to think that about managers and things like that. But fair play to them, I suppose. But yeah, so Cooper gone. It's not been. It's been said by Fabrizio. It's all over the place, so it's definitely out. He's saying it happened last night, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
because as always, it ain't just the chairman, isn't it? It's all the stakeholders, the ones who are investing into the club. They want to see a return.
Yeah.
If they're not sitting in that, they're just going to put the pressure on the chairman. And as much as he might have liked Cooper, and he supported him by giving him that vote of confidence, you're one person against. Depends how many what they've got on the board, and they're actually going to want their pound of flesh.
Yeah, exactly. And also the thing is, it just. I noticed the other day something, and it said that Marian Akers had just put more money into the club to bolster debt over equity or something like that. So as soon as I read that, I thought that could spell the end.
Yeah.
Because that obviously means he's just chucking money in and then seeing the team lose and all this, that, and the other. I mean, when they said that Marianakis went running in the dressing room after the game, I was like, well, I don't believe that because look at him, he ain't running nowhere. Sorry, look at the size of the man, he ain't running nowhere. It's an American thing, they always bang on about the face of a franchise. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, how do you feel about it, Si? Because if there is unrest in the dressing room and they have fell out with Cooper, that's when you tend to get new manager bounce, and they're all going to want to prove themselves against Bournemouth,
of course,
at the weekend.
As you said, new man comes in and let's see what we can do because obviously he's going to be looking at everyone.
Yeah. Exactly. They're all going to be playing their hearts out to get in that new manager's good books to manage to stay, if they want to stay, that is. But they're all going to be playing their hearts out to make sure their name's always on the team sheet. So I think it could be quite a bad thing for Bournemouth, to be honest, and it's an home game as well. So could be interesting. I mean, Bournemouth always give us a game at the City Ground anyway, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I wish there was a game a bit sooner, but I mean, I think they've done it at the right time as well. Because if we're playing on Saturday, at least you get so many days to actually get with the team and try and sort something out and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the one thing that Wolves did do well was pass the ball.
Yeah, he did get him playing some good football, didn't he?
Oh, he had him looking really good at one time. Whether he's still got that, someone was saying they didn't know whether he was still the same manager as what he was before. Well, time will tell. But I think it's the kind of job that he'd want, a progression team. And you know what? Big up to him, man. And if he can do what we need, then great. But like I say, big respect to Cooper for what Cooper's done for us, taking us from the bottom of the Championship to the Premier League, but then not having a team when you got in the Premier League. And what he did last season was phenomenal.
Yeah, kept you
taking
in there, didn't
30 players and creating a team. Look at Poch. Poch is
Yeah.
struggling to do that.
The thing is, there, like I think I said before, it's with Poch and that's not his team, is it? That's Todd Bowley's team.
So I mean,
Cooper's had more of a chance to build his team.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. Definitely. And if he hadn't have got them results at the start, like the 1-0 against Chelsea, then maybe we could have been in the bottom three. I know the bottom three ain't great, but like Si said as well, the thing is what you've got to take into account. You can scrape it again this season, but the bottom. But you're not going to keep getting away with that because the teams at the top of the Championship at the minute are all the ones that have gone down and are Premier League ready. So when they come up, they're going to know how to deal with staying in this league. Whereas these ones come up and it's a new thing for them, and and they're trying to get used to it and adapt and all that kind of stuff. They're going to. I mean, some of them have got Premier players still as well. So that's not good. But there's been a lot of things going off. I mean, I've heard that McKenna is not training with the guys. Worrell isn't because Leicester's interested in him, so Cooper sort of throws him out. McKenna again, I think Besiktas are looking at him, so he kind of got froze out. But for their own faults, really. I mean, they did make mistakes when they was playing. So, Si says, yeah, there usually is a bounce. They all want to prove something. Shame they decided to do it this week, but I guess they're looking at us as a possible 3 points. Yeah, there's also that as well. I mean, I'd never underestimate anybody, to be honest, but change the manager now, get the bounce and the 3 before a tough run of games after. Yeah, absolutely. Anthony Herbert, big up Yeti in early doors. Happy Christmas from me and the Christmas Yeti. Who was on last night's show. Yes, he made his debut. If you want to come on, Anthony, you can, mate. I don't think you've been on my channel before, have you? I don't think you have. So we could, pop your cherry and pop the Christmas Yeti's cherry as well on the Yeti channel.
You made a point though, Yeti, when you think getting Nuno in, it could be the fact that if he hasn't kind of got that same form like he did when he first came into Wolves, then are the club just looking at him as see us get through, keep us in the Prem, and then get another fellow in for the next season? There's a possibility, there could be that case as well. You never know.
I hope not. I'd rather this is why I would send Potter more than Nuno, because I think Potter will build something like he did with Brighton, because with Brighton he had a really good side who was taking on the big boys at times as well, and I just think he made them, I think he made the mistake of going to a team that was too big for him, and same with Nuno going to Spurs that was too big for him.
Yeah,
I still think Nuno's got something to offer though, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree on that as well. It's just come from Sky Sports. Steve Cooper sacked by Forest. So it's now official.
Has it actually come up on Sky Sports, has it?
Yeah, Steve Cooper sacked by Nottingham Forest. more than 2 years in charge.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think everybody knew that it was coming. It's not nice before Christmas, I suppose. But, at the end of the day, I think Palace are interested in him, and I think England's got him earmarked as a replacement for Southgate as well. So, I mean, he's going to go on to big things with what he's done. So, fair play to him, and he'll always be in our hearts as well. For what he's done. Like I say, he's given us a chance to dream again.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what's it, 23 years?
23 years. So you can't knock what he's done. And if he could have, if he could have done this, took us up, got us into the Premier League, got us into Europe, then got us challenging for titles, and maybe winning titles, I would have put him in the Clough bracket. 100%, but it's just not worked out like that for him.
No.
Because Clough took us from nothing and made us into something. So, sometimes it don't work like that. And I think Steve Cooper does have a ceiling when it comes to the Premier League. I mean, it happened last time. But I don't know. I mean, if he took on Crystal Palace, because Roy Hodgson, I doubt he's going to be carrying on with it too long.
No, they want him out, don't they?
They might have him earmarked for that. I don't know. Don't really know what's going to happen, to be honest. So they are definitely two different managers. I see Potter as a builder and coach, and Nuno as a shrewd buyer and coach. Yeah, and I think Nuno's more of a drill instructor type of person, where Potter's more like, go on, do your best. And I think you want, I mean, them managers are all right in some senses, but I prefer the ones that, like my Cloughy introduction. Get in there, it's what I pay you for.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That's the kind of managers that I like. So I think Nuno, I didn't think of Nuno, I'll be honest, when people was asking me, I kept saying Potter. I didn't even put Nuno into it. But if I would have thought of Nuno, I would have been like, yeah, why not? Why not at the end of the day? I mean, if Marianakis thinks that he can come in and do a job, then that's great, isn't it? What's I say here that I lost it? It's the fucking poor Roy Hodgson reminds me of Joe Biden. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, Anthony,
I don't know if you saw the other choices they were saying. Julian Lopetegui, they reckon he was also under consideration for the job.
Locatelli?
Yeah, the ex-Wolves boss.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I mean, what we're doing, are we trying to just... Oh, well, I mean, this sounds good because they're looking at Wolves, so we might actually get Pedro Neto.
Suddenly out of nowhere, Gary O'Neill's your new manager.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it sounds like they're really sort of looking at Wolves, but I mean, Locatelli didn't do much, did he? Really? So
no,
I mean, what's the point in that?
I think
ideally, you want someone like Simeone or someone like that, but I mean, you're not going to get him, are you, from Atletico Madrid? So, I mean, out of all the managers at the moment, I mean, Sean Dyche would have been one I would have looked at some point, and I think he did actually apply when Cooper was shaky and all that kind of stuff. Because I just like the way he builds teams and he builds fighting teams, and that's what I like. I like fighting teams. It's not always the most entertaining, but I just like a team that goes out there and fights for the shirt. I've always been that kind of fan, so I've always liked that, and I think Nuno will definitely get that out of these players, to be honest. So
yeah, I think you're going to see hopefully you're going to see a different style of football being played. If he kind of gets cements himself in with the squad and gets a couple of training sessions under his belt, that's what you want. You want an immediate impact, basically.
Definitely.
When the new fella comes in.
Definitely. I like to say, I mean, the first game should be one where they all want to prove themselves.
Yeah.
Jordan says, sad day, mate. I could see it coming, but very sad day. Yeah, it is, mate. But I mean, the thing is, things move on, and the Cooper will never be forgotten. in the Forest fan base, but I think it just came to a point where like he reached his ceiling, and the media are saying that he's fell out with everybody and all that kind of crap. I mean, I don't know how real that is, to be honest with you. I mean, I didn't see that on Friday. I mean, I saw a team that was really fighting for him, but just didn't have the quality at the end of the day. I mean, Chris Woods. I mean, quality don't even fit in that sentence, does it? Really? I mean, he used to be decent. He used to be all right as well. But I mean, Man United, mate, he was like bending us over a washing machine and ripping his pants down for that one. £15 million for bloody Chris Woods. He hadn't done bugger all.
No, not at all. Like you said, there's no one just taking the wage.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, so I'm all good, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, I mean, he did get us that goal against City. That's pretty much, and that was huge, to be fair. I mean, because we stayed up by a point, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly.
So that was the point. So I mean, you can't. I suppose that's worth the 15 million to stay in the Premier League and stuff. But I think what you have to also take into account. I mean, it's all right. Like I was saying, I would have no issue dropping down division with Cooper in building a squad and coming back. But the thing is, when you drop out the Premier League, you probably lose sponsors. I bet it's really, really expensive to a club. So you've got to take that into account. And the owner ain't here just to keep pumping money into the club and not getting anything out of it. So
No, exactly. They ain't got endless pockets, have they, at the end of the day?
No. And he ain't known for keeping managers anyway. He sacks a lot of managers. So, like I say, I think the only reason Cooper got away with it last season, because I was pretty much adamant that was it. He was done.
Yeah.
But I got away with it last season is I think the fan support was like 96%, I think, in a poll. Yeah. And also, not only that, he had 30 players and he had to create a team from 30 players. I think it's basically the fan base what actually kept him in the job.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 50-50 now. I don't know.
Yeah, because you're saying 30 players. I just read there in the 2 years he's been in charge, you've had 44 players come through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I mean. And I think, like I say, one of the biggest mistakes for me, because one of the main reasons we stayed up last season was Henderson. In the first half of it was absolutely immense. We didn't have a bad long shot ratio outside the box going in, but at times he saved us so many. I mean, that one against Newcastle, the very first game of the season last season. Henderson, if it weren't for Henderson, we would have got absolutely piped in that game. We would have got beat even more in that game. And then you got the other guy came in, and I have no idea what his name is, but he came in on loan, and he was just a cut above. I mean, there were so many teams going, how the hell do you get him? Do you know what I mean? And he was absolutely class. But I mean, he's on the wrong side of 36, 35, 36, I think. But and then we got Turner and a Greek goalkeeper that's never played in the Premier. I mean, they're not good replacements, are they? I mean, I tell you what, Nuno Santos, come in, look at them two, go Turner, fuck off, and then go Brice Samba, get your arse here. Because Brice Samba was a good goalkeeper. Should never let him go.
Yeah. That's what your problem is.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we weren't defending very well. And, I mean, Tottenham weren't defending very well on Friday. They was when we put the ball in the box, they were struggling like crazy, but we didn't have the quality to put it in. I think they was just like, rushing the attempts and shots and all that kind of stuff, and it just didn't. Unfortunately, it just didn't work. So, I mean, if you get a win against Tottenham, then he probably kept his job.
Yeah, that's true.
But Tottenham are a different animal at the moment, even without the guys they've got out injured. So I know people don't agree with me on that, but mate, if there's one thing in my life I've never gave a fuck about, it's people agreeing with me. Everyone has an opinion, and that's mine. And I do think Tottenham are on the verge of something good.
Well, yeah, because they started off well, found a, then they hit a rock, and then obviously started losing, and everyone was all happy, and as you said, they've recently started to find their feet again and getting a couple of results out of the bag. And against you guys, they weren't exactly great, were they? But it's all about taking chances.
Yeah,
and that's all that counts at the end of the day.
exactly. And if you can't defend and you can't score, you're in for a bad day. And the worst part, the worst one for me, I'll be honest, has got to be Man United at Old Trafford. We went 2-0 up straight away and then just capitulated.
Yeah.
Yes, some of the goals was, weren't really a penalty, Rashford. You dive, you little wanker. But, and then the sending off, it weren't a sending off either, to be honest with you. There's another man there. But anyway, it happens. And, that one was annoying for me because I thought, well, how the hell are you going to do anything if you can't hold a lead when you get a lead? I don't see how that's, you're not going to progress like that. You've got to keep the ball. And even when we're getting the lead, we're trying to do this, that, and the other. Slow the game down. Just keep the ball for a bit. Yeah. And then build yourself up again and then get into the attacking positions again or get it if there's something on. Jordan says we need a new keeper and a striker in January. We need to strengthen the defence. Up to many teams walking all over us. I'd sack a lot of players if we could do that. Yeah, to be honest, I mean, I don't. I think we've got Murilo's quality, the Brazilian Murilo's quality. Toffolo's pulled himself up. He looks quality. Montiel, we got him. Never played him. So they're going to take him back because we never played him. Santos never played him. So Chelsea are going to take him back. Because if you have an agreement that if you loan him, you've got to play him.
Yeah.
And Montiel is a World Cup winner.
Yeah.
So how he don't get a game, I don't know. Serge Aurier was great last season. Don't get me wrong, right? But give Montiel some chances. Nico Williams, you got 3 there in right back. You know what I mean? Onana, not Onana. That's a bloody Man U keeper. I know. He's also really good and played left or right. So essentially we've got 4 players that can play right back. So what did we need Montiel for anyway? Although I'd have got Montiel and got rid of one of them. To be fair, you got Philippe who's just come back, damn good defender, 36 or whatever he is now. But so you got Marie, you've got also Niakate, cracking, brilliant long throw. Yeah. Absolutely awesome. Sangari, you got Danilo. So the foundations are there. It's just like we've got to sort that forward spot out. How you doing, Stephanie? Big up to you. Hope you're well. 9 likes. Cheers. Hit the likes, guys. And thank you very much. Appreciate it. And so I mean, I think the foundations are there. But we bought a lot of players that are good players, but they get injured a lot as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Alanga looks decent. I mean, but then again, you put him up front and he didn't really do a great deal, to be honest.
Well, no, that's why he's obviously out of Man United, isn't it? Because he wasn't exactly ripping up trees.
Yeah. Big up to AFC always as well.
Big up to him.
Everyone for being in here. But yeah, I mean, I do think the foundations are there if we get a decent manager to be able to, continue to do what it is we need to do. Make the team stronger.
Yeah.
And make us where we're not going to lose goals straight away as soon as we score them. Because that's
exactly.
You can't win. You can't do anything with that. Sorry, I'm out at the moment. Meet the missus. She's shopping, doing my fucking head in. All right. All right, mate. The offer was there anyway, but if you ever want to come on, I'll sort it out on the view from the cave. Big up all early doors as well. Sorry, didn't recognise you with Amazon background.
Let me do that for you, Steph. There. Let me just make you feel at home. There you go.
Yeah, big up to everybody, man. Big up to everyone. Thanks for coming on as well, early doors. And welcome, like I say, it's one of them. It's I think it was the right time. You can only go so far when you're losing like that. I understand it's a sad day, blah blah blah, and all that lot. But the thing is, football moves on.
Yeah,
and that's just the way it goes at the end of the day. So
it's your credibility to stay in the league now, isn't it? That's the main thing. And you're still in a position where you're outside of the relegation. If Nuno can come in and turn it around and push you up, then it's job done, isn't it? He's done his part.
absolutely,
And that's all you're going to notice. You're not going to worry about anything else.
absolutely. And if you look at our fixtures, we've got Bournemouth next, which, with it being his first game, is definitely winnable. You got Newcastle at St James Park. That will be a tough one, to be honest. And then we've got Man United at the City Ground, which again I would say is definitely winnable.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Especially right there at the moment.
So I mean that could be, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But I mean, that could be another 6 points, which is going to be massive because Luton's only got to win one game and they're only 2 points off us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
of course.
Got to be careful in that respect. Big up AFC always and Sai. And Antonio says, I know that background early doors, you're in that brothel again. Oh, why not, eh? Why not? Evening, Yeti, early doors and all in chat. Evening, Jazz, mate.
Evening,
Come
Jazz.
on if you want.
Evening,
Jump on
mate.
if you like. I'll send you the link. Yeti, who is the favourite to be the next manager at Forest? Well, I mean, I would have said Potter, but it looks like Nuno because he's on his way to the ground now for advanced talks. So I think that's pretty much done. I mean, because he was at Saudi Arabia club, wasn't he? And he got fired because he finished 5th or something. So I think it's pretty much a done deal that it's going to be Nuno Esperanto. What's his name anyway? Esperanto Santos, or is that a coffee? I don't know.
Nuno Espirito Santos.
Is it? Yeah. I was thinking espresso. That's a coffee, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's onwards and upwards, really. I mean, it is what it is, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, would you? I mean, if it was West Ham, yeah, and you was in the position we was in now, would you want Moyes gone?
For me, I think if you look at it, apart from doing well in Europe, we're still in that kind of situation where if we're not too careful, we can go the opposite way, and we've proved that many a times. Obviously, there's a lot of West Ham fans do want Moyes gone. They feel like he's got to that level, like I suppose like with Cooper, you've got to that level kind of thing. We do okay, if you look at a couple of years back, we were doing much more better in the season, and you can see that by the results. But now we're kind of mixing it with the rest of that. Apart from doing well in Europe, that's about it. So I wouldn't mind Potter myself. I think he'd be a good fit for us.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a good fit for West Ham. I think it's his type of club, that kind of level. That should do him well. So if that does happen, I think hopefully he's going to be the choice.
Do you think you'll keep Paqueta?
Maybe for this January transfer window, I think we will do, and I think City will come in the summertime.
Don't you think that City are struggling to get it together at the minute though, so they might actually make that signing, and also Michael Elise, who is a quality player.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? I mean, I'd love to keep hold of Paqueta. I mean, for what we paid for him in that, and he's now finding his form. But if City comes knocking, any player really is going to turn and think to yourself, you know what? Thanks for what you've given me. I mean, we had that with Tevez, and who's the other thing? Mascherano.
You've had it a lot, haven't you? Really?
Yeah.
You've had it a lot where you're just starting to build something, and then they steal your best players and stuff. This is probably why Antonio's still there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the annoying thing, isn't it? I mean, I think you've done amazing to keep Jared Bowen, though.
Yeah, well,
you got times where he might have been gone.
I think you got Daddy Dyer as your father-in-law kind of thing, and it's a case of you can't move on that, otherwise you're propping up one of the supports on the new motorway they're building. It's going to be one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to be one of those.
Yeah. FC always says Graham Potter we be the new manager of Man United when they eventually sack Ten Hag. Yeah, I agree, but I don't think. I mean, what do you think, Stephanie? Because I don't think that's a good idea for Graham Potter. Hey, you've got to have ultimate success at Man United straight away, and I just think that's a massive job for Graham Potter. I think he would have been better off with us personally, where you're just progressing and building. Sai says, I'm a bit annoyed at you guys making the change before us. Was kind of banking on 3, to be honest, but nah, not so sure. Seems some pretty poor performances from you lot in recent weeks, but nah, well, could be anything. Yeah, that's what I mean. And like I say, whenever there's a new manager, the players play to keep their shirts. So, and that's what that game's going to be. If it's not, then nothing changes, does it?
That's
Losing
true,
a
isn't it?
manager, nothing changes. So it's a waste of time. Stephanie says, yeah, you have to keep Cooper, man. Good old Russ Abbott character from back in the day. Yeah. He's already gone now. He's already gone. It's all over Twitter that he's gone. It's been on Sky Sports as well. I think it's just down to the club to actually say that that's what's happening. Sai says Bowen and Ward Prowse, 2 guys you can build around. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Cracking buy as well, Ward Prowse, to lose Declan Rice. And I think the way you built with Kudos, I mean, you pulled in some really good players to make up for it, to be honest.
exactly,
I think you're on like a win-lose thing, though. And I forgot to say it last night, but with you having Liverpool next after that and at Anfield,
Yeah,
I think you might get the backlash
yeah,
of them not
yeah.
beating Man United. I think that's the scariest thing for you. And Liverpool do take the cup serious as well.
Mm.
They do tend to take the cup serious.
No, exactly.
Potter deserves to be muted about my mischievous media. No, too bother. Not too bother, but hold up, I'll learn how to read in a minute. Potter deserves to be muted about my mischievous media. No, not too bother both.
No, two both for me.
Yeah.
I'll help you.
I don't know why I keep trying to read bother for some reason. I don't know why. I'm losing the plot. But Stephanie says, sorry, my bad, shame for him. Yeah. And also, West Ham got a baller in Kudos. Yeah. He's another one that Arsenal probably should have been looking at if they had the right kind of.
Well, it's what we paid for him. That's the thing. That's the best part is what we paid for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a snip really in today's money.
Yeah, absolutely. And he looks good as well. He does look good. But like I say, I've dropped the link to you, Jazz, if you're still in here, and so you can come on if you want, and we can have a chat about what's just happened with Forest, with getting rid of Steve Cooper. I think a lot of people was kind of saying it anyway. I think I was thinking more with my heart instead of my head. Do you know what I mean? And just thinking, oh no, you've got to keep it, and that's what a lot of Forest fans are thinking. You've got to keep him for what he's done for us and all this, that, and the other. But like I say, you're only as good as your last game, and the last 13 ain't been good.
No, that's for sure.
You know what I mean? So the writing's pretty much on the wall, isn't it?
Stiffy's saying about De Zerbi and that they reckon he's also now muted for Man United.
Oh, but see, that one probably would be a better idea. I think anybody that goes to Man United, it's going to be tough, to be honest. I mean, because them players just seem to want to just please themselves all the time. So I think it's going to be tough with any of them. And I think you always have to look into the fact of if the players are with the manager or if they're not. Is it the tactics that's the problem, or is it the players? Because to me, if it's the players, changing managers is a waste of time.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I mean, as we were saying on the stream the other day, whoever takes over that, you've got to think the whole club just needs a whole restructure. So, yeah, it's bad enough when you think about the Chelsea job with all the players they brought in there. That's another massive job as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephanie says kudos and JWP, great signings by West Ham. Yeah, both players that I would have thought that Arsenal would have been looking at and stuff like that, and some of the other teams would have been looking at. I mean, because Liverpool needed a 6.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
a lot of the players other players like we've got Sangari and Mangala. I mean, Mangala's just looking better and better every game.
Yeah.
But he's in the midfield all the time, and Mangala's a bit more of an attacking type of player. You know what I mean? So he shouldn't really be doing that. I don't know why, but he was playing Sangari in the Mangala kind of position. You know what I mean? Whereas Sangari at PSV was always the defensive midfielder. So I mean, I don't know why he was putting him like that when it should have been Mangala that was like that.
Mm.
I don't know. That's quite a strange one as well. Is it Kudos or Kudos? It's
Kudos. Kudus.
I keep saying Kudos for some reason.
Kudos.
Because I'm an absolute bell end. That's why. Right, Kudos. I think I blame autocorrect. Yeah. And Stephanie says, always been the players thanks to Woodward, Arnold, and Glazers. Daft contracts and wages. Yeah, and
yes.
I think your owners are backing the players instead of the manager because, as I've said, it's cheaper to get rid of a manager than it is to get rid of them players. I don't think you'll ever get rid of Rashford because of his feeding kids and the meals and all that kind of stuff. So I think there'd be a major backlash if you got rid of Rashford, to be honest. But I think he's done. I think he's done there, though. To be honest.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Because funny enough, I was on with Anthony the other. I think it was on the weekend, and we was talking about this. And for me, Rashford's just too predictable. Do you remember, like with Michael Owen? When he got the injury, they played the ball through. He'd run through. He'll score a goal. Then teams wised up to that, and then they kind of cut him out. And not being funny, you see that with Rashford, Martial, and even Martinelli at Arsenal and Saka in certain respects. Too predictable. They do exactly the same thing week in, week out.
Yeah. That's a tactical thing, though, isn't it? Making sure that they do the same thing. And I think if you look at most of the players that have been successful, they're not predictable. Look at Stan Collymore. You can never predict what he was going to do. I mean, I can remember that goal against Crystal Palace where he nutmegged the defender, and then for sheer thing, he just decided to take the ball back and nutmeg him again.
Yeah, exactly.
And then put it in the top corner. I mean, the guy was an absolute legend. And also, there's a lot of players that don't have a left and right foot. Well, I mean, they actually have the feet, but they can't play with them. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of players like that as well. And the thing is, like Saka, for instance, always comes in, tries to get on his left foot. You just got to stop him getting on his left foot. So he needs to work on his right foot.
No, exactly. It's the same with Martinelli. He'll cut outside and then try and cross the ball in, or he'll cut inside with the ball himself and then try and go for goal. It's
absolutely,
one or the other.
Absolutely. Like Stephanie says, Rashi is a one-trick pony, but defo pony at the moment. Yeah. Absolutely. But then you've got Anthony as well. It's like 60 million. I mean, I don't know where that 60 million is, to be honest. He's just not. I mean, the only thing I've actually seen him do any good was against Liverpool, where he ran straight through the middle, and then gave it to him, and then the pass was straight to him. But I mean, he's another one who got just the left foot, and if he can't get on his left foot, and I mean, unless you're Forest, of course, and you let Kulusevski on his left foot, and then he puts a brilliant ball in for Richarlison to score, and then he scores with his right foot because Turner's an absolute bellend. That's just, that. I mean, he's not got a right foot, but I mean, you can't miss from there. I mean, you're not, if you're not going to hit it from there, what's the point?
Yeah.
AFC always says Arsenal are so predictable in attack. Arteta should switch Martinelli and Saka on the flanks. Yeah, I mean, that's worth sort of looking at. But I think you're right, though. They are very, very predictable. But I think the game against Liverpool is Liverpool will try and counter. And I think Arsenal will play the style that they're playing at the minute. Whereas they won't go gung-ho. They'll basically try and sort of work it through. I think it could very much be like the Villa game. where they try stuff and it just don't work. But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. They might be the real deal. Who knows? We'll have to see. Yeah, Steph, I'm not saying I feel sorry for Man U, but I would hate to be a fan at the minute. Yeah, I mean, I've got no issue with Man U. I mean, I used to love watching them back in the day when they played Arsenal and Vieira and Keane battles and just the quality they had on the pitch and actually proving Alan Hansen right in with kids. It's like, well, it's tragic, really, to see what Man United have become now. Isn't it, though? Isn't it?
But in certain respects, I mean, when if you look at Arsenal, they've gone for that blip where they were winning things and the tap's been dry for 16, 17 years. And they're still crying out for a league win, a trophy, a cup, Champions League cup. They're crying out for that because they've been missing out on them times as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stephanie says, lads, I can't get my head around inverted wingers, so I want Anthony given a go on left. Best ever inverted winger all time. Go John Robertson, Forest legend, 2 good feet, what a player. Absolutely, 100%. But I just don't think you don't get many players like that now. They have one good foot, and it's kind of that's all that's trained and stuff like that. And it's so easy to defend against. If you know that player's got great on his left but not great on his right, you just make sure he don't get on his left, don't you?
Yeah.
I think it's so easy to defend against. So, I mean, the hardest players to defend against are the ones who can hit the ball with both feet, with precision with both feet. I mean, and there ain't many. I don't think there's many, is there really?
Not really, not in this day and age. I think the problem there with that one for Anthony, then you've got to question the manager or the coaching staff, how they're getting that player to play. If they're not getting him to play to his best ability, and they're just telling him to do a specific thing, that's probably why he's not as effective as he should be.
Yeah,
we know he's got we know he's got the skill. We've seen that with the memes where he's fucking spinning around on a sixpence all the time. So he's got that in him. It's just the fact of he's not.
He don't help himself though. Like when he did that, standing there doing keepy uppies while the defender.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't help himself there, did he? Because everyone just looked at that and thought, "You prick." You know what I mean? And then from that moment on, every time you look at him, you're kind of like happy that he doesn't do anything very good because it's like you deserve it for doing that. I mean, what is this keepy uppies thing all about? I mean, where does that come into a football match?
No, exactly. Well, you imagine it. Cloughie would make sure that one of the players took him out, and you think, Allardyce's old Bolton team and that they definitely would have wiped him out.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if anybody starts doing stuff like that on a football pitch, just go in there like an exocet missile and make sure he decides that it's not a good idea to try and do it again.
Yeah, he won't. That's for sure.
That was back in the day when you could get away with things like that. I mean, you look at some of them now where the trailing leg. I mean, I don't get the trailing leg thing. What are you supposed to do? Cut it off?
Exactly.
Yeah, if you tackle somebody and you win the ball, and then your trailing leg kicks the player, I don't know what you're supposed to do. I don't know how you're supposed to. How can it be a booking? I don't get it. Are you supposed to do like op? Are you supposed to opt to the player and just use one leg and make sure your other leg's up against your back or something? I mean, what the hell? I mean, craziness, man. They're trying to make a simple game into just absolute stupidity. I mean, I don't know about you, but I used to sit and watch football and I'd go, oh, that's a yellow. That's a red. Yeah, that's offside. Nah, you're like, well, you see if offside's given. So it's like, well, yeah, that's offside. But, well, no, we've used the line. Yeah, I know, it's still offside. No, goal stands.
We're not being funny. Back in the day, and it was a contact sport. Now,
yeah,
and unfortunately, I'm seeing it on Sunday football. When I do Sunday football, you're seeing exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, so what? You're gonna have to wear kind of body armor around you and that to make sure you do a tackle on that and come back. Are you right, mate? Did I hurt you? I'm so sorry about that. Let's play on.
Yeah,
it's just going to get stupid.
Exactly, like Steph says, showboating nonsense. Yeah, from Anthony. And Si says, "Yeah, Yeti, one-legged, no-arm footballer's a king these days." It is. It's crazy. I mean, one of the things that's always wound me up. I don't know about you, but when defenders think it's offside and just stand there with their hand in the air,
I know. Yeah.
it's like I've
It's
seen so many goals by them doing that.
It's one of the old basic things, isn't it? You know, you play to the
Mm.
whistle. I mean, fun enough, see what Si's put there. Do you remember the old Dave Allen sketch? Isn't that the one with the old
Mhm.
with the crutches, one leg and one arm?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, the way football is now, the way I used to play when I was at school, I'd have probably been on the pitch for about 1 minute. I mean, I used to, I can remember me and my bro were playing. The guy was in goal and it was one of us to score. And my bro took it past me and all he heard was this thud in behind him. And then all of a sudden he went arse of a tit. Just took both his legs right from underneath him and he went arse of a tit. It was hilarious, man. Absolutely hilarious.
Funny
It probably
because
weren't for him, but
no, you just got to just do it anyway. But yeah, that old match of the day we visited, and I think it's Chelsea. And they're showing old Chopper Harris.
yeah.
The bloke's released the ball already, and that Chopper Harris just comes in and just takes out his back leg.
Oh yeah.
No
That's what I mean. Yeah. Look at Stuart Pearce for one of the first Forest games I went to, and he went to challenge this winger, and you heard the leg break.
Yeah.
Just straight in there, snap. I mean, the snap was mental. The noise that just went all around the ground. It was like, oh my days, you know. I mean, and the problem is what they don't seem to understand. Yeah, back in the day when you wore them leather boots, someone could tread on your foot with the studs and it wouldn't have made no difference. You'd have been fine. These bloody Crocs that they wear nowadays. It's no wonder, is it, that a little like a stud on the side of it like injures them and stuff like that. And then you've got them shin pads or fucking nicotine patches, as I call them.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell is that? Don't even cover the damn shin. What's the point in that, man? Back in the day, GBH was just a booking. Absolutely. I mean, I love, sometimes going on YouTube and just watching an old game. Or we ain't got a lot of the old footage, but there is some of it. And some of these tackles that's flying in and the game just plays on while people are getting killed at left, right, and centre. Fucking everybody's on the floor holding the legs and all this and that, and it just carries on. You can injure every player and just go and score goals, and it'd be like, hey, good goal. I mean, it's changed so much, hasn't it?
Oh, it is, isn't it? I mean, because you see it, innit? There's not a blade of grass on the pitch, and they're still kicking the ball around.
Yeah, and back in the day, if you actually dived, your players would probably beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't like that. Same as Roy Keane always says. You go out there and you perform, and you perform like it's the end of your days if you don't. And I don't think a lot of players do that. You see a lot of players shirking tackles nowadays.
Yep.
Odegaard's one. That's
the thing. I mean, Steffi's making a good point here.
Metatarsal never existed years ago. Well said, Yeti. Boots, not boots, slippers. Exactly. I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked, honestly. I really ain't, because they do just look like slippers. So and what are the studs? I mean, what are they? Get spikes on them. So, you stick it right in his leg and then you have to be separated. You know what I mean? So I was always a big fan of when you tackle, you make it keep running through. You know what I mean? Because you might miss with the first leg, so you get him with the second.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they're classing as a foul now. And I understand the injury thing, and I mean, basically it's all about insurance on the player.
Yeah, that's the thing, because obviously players don't want to be injured, and the clubs don't want the player to be injured either.
Exactly. And that shouldn't. At the end of the day, it's 11 men against 11 men. I mean, me personally, if I were running football, I'd say whoever survives wins.
Simply, yeah. Just throw the ball to the pitch and all in.
Yeah, whoever can still walk at the end, that team wins. I mean, I'm not being funny, but you sit and watch them games, and they're just brilliant. And football doesn't really do it for me nowadays. It's nowhere near as good as it used to be. Every now and then you get a good game like that Tottenham Chelsea game, where Tottenham just decided to kick the hell out of everybody and got sent off and went down to 9 men. And it was a proper grueling game. They were both getting involved and stuff, but they come about every now and then. You don't see them week in, week out, unfortunately. So I said, yeah, and gone are the days of trying to stay on your feet and carry on a breakaway, hit the deck, roll around, and then they'll get 11 in the box. Exactly. Roll around like a prick, as my mate always says.
Yep.
I mean, and that's exactly what football is. And I think that one of the biggest travesties for me is when you get a striker going in on goal, and instead of scoring an absolute belter and an amazing goal, he waits for the contact and then goes down for the penalty. And then he don't get the penalty. So what a waste.
Yeah, and then he throws his toys out the pram.
Yeah.
Moaning, you know. Yeah.
Look at Haaland against us last season at City Ground when he got through and Worrell put his hand on his shoulder, so he went down.
Mm-hmm.
Worrell did it on purpose because
Yep.
Haaland's scoring his through on goal. I mean, this shows, good player, bit of a dipshit though. And I don't think many footballers have that much brain anyway. If they did, they wouldn't keep arguing with a ref when he's already yelled at them for an argument. Or they wouldn't do dissent twice when they've already been booked for it. You know, they ain't the smartest you can see why they've got agents. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can just imagine them turning up and going, tell you what we're going to do is we're going to give you 1p a week, and then we're going to give you a holiday in Skegness every 4 weeks. Yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like the agents behind them going, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of here. You know what I mean? And I think that's why they've got agents. I mean, they make a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But they ain't the smartest, are they? I mean, like asking for yellers. There's still players doing it.
I know. Well, look at the Arsenal manager. He got himself done when they said, "What? This is the new rule, not outside your technical area."
But you said he was going to get hammered on that.
Of course, and that's what he deserves.
You called that. You said as soon as they brought that in, that Arteta was always outside his technical box, and he's going to. Although the funniest thing I've seen, I've got to say, is when Arteta thought it was a yeller, and he's going yellow, ref, yeller, and the ref walks over and gives him one. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, talked yourself into one kind of thing, but
that was quality, man. That was just runs across and gives him a yellow.
Because you said about the play acting and that. Was it Vieira a couple of weeks back when he got hit in the chest here, but he's held his face?
Oh my days!
And that's clear on TV and everything else. Why are these players not getting done for this?
Well, the worst for that, in my opinion, is Neymar. I'm sorry, I don't. People keep trying to tell me that this guy's amazing and all this, that, and the other. One, he's injured all the time. Two, he's a cheating bastard. He couldn't lace the boots of Pele, Socrates, Zico. He's not the best of all Brazilians or anything like that. I'm not even hearing that. And when he was in the World Cup and that guy lifted his leg to get away from him, nowhere near his face, and he starts holding his nose, making out he'd been kneed in the face. What a day. This is, if I was on the pitch and somebody did that and tried to get me sent off or something, I'm stamping on their head and I'm getting sent off anyway. Because it's just cheating. I can't be doing with it.
No, you want to make sure. Okay, you want an injury? Here's one for you. Smash.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
done.
100%. That you see Beckham when he got sent off for England. If he'd have jumped up and stitched the nut on Simeone, I'd have had the utmost respect for him.
Yeah,
but he just flicked his foot out. So if you're going to get sent off, make sure it looks good. Do you know what I mean? Craziness. So I agree, Tony. There should be retrospective cards for the diving bastards. It really grips my shit. That I said it right from the start. As soon as the diving started, you should have been red carding players, and it would have been gone just like that. But they didn't do it. They allowed it, and and one of the worst is Jesus. I mean, that lad, honestly.
Well, you think you've got him, you've got when he was playing for him, you got Holberg
Saka.
for Spurs,
Saka goes
and
down a lot.
Saka's is the most obvious one, and he got booked the other week because
Yeah.
it just got too predictable.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to go down for the right reasons, not the fact of, he kind of. Don't get me wrong, he uses his body strength well.
Yeah.
But there's no need for him to hit the deck like he does. There's no way he should be doing that. But as you said, it's the way, and well, we all know it must be something they doing training because they all fucking around the referee moaning like bitches.
Yeah, they've got to do it in training. They've got to be working on that. I mean, I remember another thing I remember back in the day as well. You'd be watching a World Cup, and basically the commentators would say, "Oh, this lad's coming on. He's 18 years old. He's a Spanish lad, and he's quality. He is definitely the next big thing." And he'd come on and he'd do great stuff, great skills, taking people on, stuff like that. Every time now they turn around and say, this lad's got something special and he's going to be something amazing in the next few years. He dives around like a prick for every time you see him. He gets, as soon as someone comes near him, that's it, down. And I hate it when ex-professionals turn around and say, if you feel contact, you've got every right to go down. No, you're a cheating wanker because at the end of the day, that's not in the rules of the game.
No.
You have no right to if somebody takes you out and flips your legs up in the air, absolutely. You're only doing it because you don't want to get injured. If you don't want to get injured, play fucking Ludo or something. Take up fucking Twister, or try and make a career out of that because you're obviously not made for football.
Yeah, don't use Ludo, mate. You've seen them counters; they can take your fucking eye out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Connect 4 is deadly when you're playing the right person. Yeah, would have nicked it in the bud. Same crowd in the ref. How did rugby get the red card? VAR system so right and football so wrong. It's crazy. That's a good point, actually. You've come up with some really good points because what's this bloody sin bin shit all about?
We do it in Sunday football, and basically, yeah, it's been brought into Sunday football. It's just
ice hockey.
It's just trying to cut out the verbal abuse the referees get, and I get that part of it. But for me, I have more respect for a referee that kind of comes at the beginning of the game. Right, lads, this is how it's going to be. If you do this, that, and the other, and that, it's a yellow card. If you persist, red card. End of. Once the referee sets his stall out, the team gives him more respect because this case, well, we can't do this because he just told us you're going to get sent off. And I think to answer Si's question, the problem is it's the amount of money that these players get paid compared to rugby players. So there's more respect in the game. Whereas if you look at our lot, you could just see, and it's most of the team players, you see them coming off them coaches and they're got the little fucking wash bag under their arms and they look like fucking miserable as sin. They earn more than what a man does in his lifetime.
Yeah.
Or even in a year. And yet these guys are coming off the bus as if I'm really sorry, I've got to come off and I've got to walk past you guys and I've got to go and get changed. I've got to go and earn a crust by kicking the ball around. And I think that's where the problem is. Money's too much in control, and that's where these players think they're untouchable.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And like I say, they duck challenges as well. I mean, that's evident. I mean, the thing is with the sin bin thing, in my opinion, I think they should, instead of taking on like a ice hockey kind of thing, actually just, there's too many things, in my opinion, that's being done to stop refs actually doing the job they're paid for. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, right, yellow, if you get, when there's a foul or anything like that, in my opinion, the only person that should be approaching the ref is the captains.
Yeah.
Anybody else approaches the ref should be yellow carded.
Yep.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Jazz, got to go, guys. Great show. Cheers, mate.
Take care, Jazz.
Cheers for popping in. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, who is coming up with all these ideas? Because I mean, you got this thing. What was it? Seb Blatter came up with. He came up with the idea that a player who was so old or whatever could go for free or what. I can't remember what it was. But he's been seen. He's been worked out now as a bloody nutter. So why are we still doing it?
I know. It's because again, we copy other leagues and stuff like this, and you got someone in the FA drum up the idea. I mean, the sin bin thing. I mean, that's a science in itself. You can get like an hour with Sunday football. You get sin bin for I think it's 10 minutes. Within
Yeah.
that 10 minutes, you can also basically get another yellow card while you're sitting in the sin bin area, and then you can also get another yellow card plus a red card. So you
Yeah.
get fined for the yellow card as well as the red card.
Right.
Thanks, Stephanie. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's
Awesome.
the combinations, because when we was all sent to one of these football associations for them to talk to you about how they sim, and we was given a little kind of card to show you for this offence it's going to be a yellow card. If it's going to be
Yeah.
this, it's a 10-minute spell. You come back on. If you do it again, you're back in there and that, and also there's then you're going to get a yellow card. In that time while you're doing that, then there's a red card. You could get, I think it was 2 or 3 yellow cards plus a red card while you're in the sin bin. It's yeah.
That's bonkers, isn't it? I mean, that is just making it too complicated, to be honest. I mean, I don't understand the complications of that. I mean, and it's all, and the problem for me, and it's always the same, right? It's down to the ref and how he feels at the time. So, say a Salah will be able to turn around and go, "You prick," but then another player who's playing for another team, like say a Sheffield United, turns around and says, "You prick, ref, right, Simbin."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
of course.
it's like Salah. I've seen Salah 3 times ask for a yellow card and not get one.
Yeah.
Other players, they've been booked when they've done it. And and that's what gets me. They come up with these rules, and these rules work, but then the refs decide they're not following them through, and they're not doing them.
And
So
we've got this lack of consistency.
Who's running this fucking hot dog stand? I mean, come on.
Well, you've got to look at the PGML. They're just, it's an absolute shower, isn't it? I mean, look at the other day when the Man City game, who was they playing there? When Haaland got through and all of a sudden they pulled it back.
Yeah. Oh, that's just.
And
I'm sorry, I'd have to check into that ref and whether he's had a bet on that game.
Oh, of course, but did you see what the excuse was? That it was a genuine mistake. But not being funny, if that was the likes of Forest, if it was the likes of West Ham, that can make or even the likes of, if you think about it, Burnley, Everton, that makes a difference winning, getting 3 points or getting nothing.
On the same point, can I just put something to you? Because when that thing happened with Liverpool, and the game carried on, they said their actual words was the way the game works. As soon as a decision's been made, the game has to carry on. Yeah. So he said play on.
Yes.
So why can he then stop it after that? That was dodgy, man. And I would be looking into him having a bet on 2-2. I mean, and to be quite honest with you, a lot of people won't agree with this, but whatever. But the fact of the matter is, their equaliser. I didn't get this either. Their equaliser, Kulusevski absolutely poleaxes that defender. Yeah.
Yep.
And in the game, Newcastle against Tottenham, I think it was. Yeah, it was Tottenham. Joe Linton did the same to Pedro Porro, missed the goal and got a yellow card.
Yep.
What the hell?
If anything, even though they've kind of supposed to have improved things, in my mind, it's even worse.
Oh, it's terrible.
There's no kind of proper standard. And funny enough, going by Si's comment about rugby and compared to us kind of thing, why do you think at the moment the referees are not mic'd up? We can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think it's dodgy as hell. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think the old VAR system was brought in for the betting.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It really does make you wonder.
I've thought that for a long time because I had a bet on a City Arsenal game ages ago. Now it was a cup game, and I had a bet that Fabian Delph would get sent off. There were a few other things that had to happen. Fabian Delph would get sent off, and so would El Neni. Yeah, Fabian Delph then gets sent off. El Neni's on a yellow card because flying into one of their players towards the end of the game, nothing. That should have been off.
Yeah.
And that would have been about £500. I mean, it's dodgy. I
Yeah.
do think 100% it's dodgy with the refereeing decisions. But the fact of the matter is, for me, they're taking football away from the fans because, like I say, when you're sat in the ground and you see something, you know if it's a foul or you know if it's this or. And one thing that I think is absolutely criminal, and whoever came up with it needs punching in the chops, and that is basically you can't celebrate a goal. And that is the biggest point of going to football, isn't it? You see a
Yeah.
goal. What do you tend to do now when you score? You go, oh, wait a minute. Let's see if he gets VAR'd before I celebrate. You cannot take that away from football fans. That is fucking disgraceful,
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
that away from
Because
football fans.
everyone's staring around at each other. I mean, even like even the players are kind of, have I not? And they're looking
Yeah,
up the screen and
that's what I
looking
mean.
around at the referee, and
You cannot take that celebration away when a ball hits the back of the net, and then you've got fans sitting there going, "Oh, let's wait for VAR, wait." Yeah, no, sorry, that is ours. That is ours. That ain't yours to take away. I'm sorry.
yeah,
That really
yeah.
does. That really does wind me up. That does. Yeah,
Well,
again, VAR sticking their nose in. It's meant to be clear and obvious. VAR taking over 20 seconds means it's not clear and obvious, and they shouldn't be allowed slow-mo footage down unless it's offside. Absolutely, and I don't understand why the line don't go straight on the screen either.
well,
Use
that's
the
it.
line
Yeah.
straight away.
I was going to come to you on that because,
Yeah.
funny enough, when you think the Arsenal game where the ball, allegedly went off the pitch,
Mm,
but if you look, it's also the angle you see it now. Whereas before, like last season, it was clearly showing you straight across the pitch
yeah,
with a straight line. Now, for
yeah,
some reason, it's at a fucking angle,
yeah.
and
Dodgy,
it's
isn't it?
like,
Because
it's
much
like,
different.
what's that all about? I think the
Mm,
only one they couldn't get away with, whose pitch was it now? That the pitch was two different shades of green,
mm.
and even then, they're saying, "Is it offside?" Well, fuck me, you can see that clear as day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, like Steph says, right, refs like Oliver need to be held accountable, put challenge system in place, and bring in AC12 to investigate ref corruption.
Yeah,
100%. But the
yeah,
thing is, these refs are obviously cheap, and that's why VAR sticks with them. But we have got some of the worst refs I've seen for ages, and he said Jeffson. Nobody understands the handball rule. Never mind offside rule. That's correct. I mean, how they can call off handball when your hand's up here, like your hand's here on the back of your neck, and it hits your hand, and it's like that's handball. It's like you couldn't do that if you tried.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, we've got to use the Arsenal game where, if you look at it, Matty Cash, did it hit him first, or did it Havertz first? And
Mm,
but then if you look where the ball hit Matty Cash, it was up here.
yeah,
So really, it's in that kind of borderline that it's just above.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
if it's on the shirt, it's not handball, is it? If
so
it
this
actually
is
hits
the
the
thing, and then
shirt.
of course it's touched Havertz, and that was it basically.
Well, I
But
mean, the worst part of that for me was Arsenal just didn't turn up, and all Arteta has to say is, "Oh, VAR's screwed us again," or whatever. Why does he get away with saying things like this? Yet Mourinho used to get fined all the time. There's
well,
something about Arteta, you know. I think he's actually like a cult leader or something, and he's got them all in. And in the weekend, he's got them all in a warehouse, and they've all got cloaks on and stuff, and they're all like drinking each other's blood or something. I don't know.
nah, they're all holding
Definitely
light
some-
bulbs. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're all holding
Yeah,
light
yeah,
bulbs
yeah,
in this
yeah.
warehouse.
They're all holding light bulbs, and you've got to make sure it lights up, and that gets you promoted to being the chief wallaby or whatever. Just scrap VAR. We were still moaning about decisions when it meant to fix problems. Back in the day, basically, you get a bad decision or whatever, you go sit down in the pub, you have a chat about it till you get that drunk, you forget you even went to a football match. And then you get on with the next week. And that's what we always used to do. But now,
Of course.
games are there's always a VAR thing about a game. Always.
I think the problem is VAR works. We know that. We've seen it in other sports, and there's
Mhm.
no
Yeah.
question that it works. As Si mentioned, and we've discussed it, I think, many a times, and even Anthony
Mhm.
as well, and others. it's the personnel that's actually operating it. They're the ones that's
Absolutely.
completely
100%.
screwing it up. So
100%.
surely they should be looking at it and think themselves, we need to actually kind of rethink our plans here and re-educate ourselves more importantly.
Yeah, yeah. Like Taib says, I keep VAR as long as Pierluigi Collina can make refereeing decisions. I think, to be quite honest, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Referees weren't doing their jobs properly, right? So basically, what you've done is you've not reprimanded them. You've given them an extra day's money to actually do the VAR thing, so they get a game to ref, and then they have to go and sit in the VAR room, so they're getting extra wages, I would imagine, for doing that. So you've actually sort of promoted them and gave them something. And the fact of the matter is, for me, the refs are the ones that was making the mistake that it had to come in for. So they shouldn't be the ones that's behind it. They look after their mates. Oh, my mate's having a bad one out there. Yeah, we'll just go side with him on this. Should be ex-players, in my opinion, who watch VAR.
We're not being funny. I think we missed a trick for years. When they brought in the fourth official,
Yeah,
give him more power. Have him have
Yeah.
a TV screen. He can watch the game and stuff like that. And if an incident's off the ball, he can call him up on the old mic. You just missed an incident back there as you're running towards goal with the ball.
yeah,
Mate, you boys, just give him the elbow straight in the chops.
yeah.
That's sending off. Job
Exactly.
done.
It's not that difficult,
Job
is
done.
it? Really?
So for me, the fourth official is not utilised enough.
But also, you got to take into account that VAR makes newspaper headlines.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? I think it all comes into it in that respect. And you always want controversy after a match, because even if you get a boring match, there's always a VAR decision to start crying about at the end of it. Introduce more referees, i.e. VAR is a recipe for disaster. Too many cooks springs to mind. Absolutely. Spot on. Absolutely spot on. Yeah, Steph, on both your last points. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's not a difficult game. It's a very simple game. 11 men against 11 men, go against each other and try and score goals. It's simple as that, really. And the thing is, I'll tell you another one that makes me laugh as well. I've got to bring this up. You know, like if it's offside, if the play's offside, you can absolutely muller that player.
Yeah.
And it don't matter because it was offside.
That's right.
Have you seen it? Where it's like, oh, it's offside, but he gets absolutely turned arse over tit. And the ref just goes offside, no, play on.
Exactly.
That's absolutely mad, isn't it? Because it's offside, because it's a stopping play, you can just run up and punch somebody in the head.
Well, there was, wasn't there? I think was it a month or so ago? There was, I can't remember what the team it was now, but the player got completely wiped out. I think it took off the pitch. Yeah, as you said, it was offside, and it was a case of like, do we go back to the incident? No, it was offside.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
And that gets me on to another one as well. This offside thing, where basically the game carries on. Do you know if you keep the ball, yeah, the game don't stop until you lose the ball. You could use that as a major time wasting tactic. You just keep the ball between yourselves, don't you? And you know, and then the game just carries on. Stupid. Another stupid idea that they come up with. Well, I've done that one. Fourth official seems to just be there for refereeing the managers. Early door made a great point. They can VAR ref. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they to be honest, they probably deserve more money than the ref because the shit they get in their ear holes from the manager. It must be absolutely madness. And they can't do it, and they can't. Well, I mean, they can call the ref over and book them and that, but they do. They get some major shit in their ear.
Yeah, not
Mourinho, Warnock.
You must imagine. You know, you right. There you go. You're officiating the game. Oh no, sorry, you're the fourth official, and then you look at the team. You think, for fuck's sake,
exactly. Yeah.
Straight away, like I can't make that game. I'm sorry. It's one of those.
Like getting like I don't know, Arteta and Klopp, and they're both there, and you can't understand either one of them what they're saying. That'd be absolutely mental, wouldn't it? Be like, I bought a dog, and you're cheating me, and all this, that, and the other. I'll be like, I tell you what, just come round the corner, you two managers.
Smack.
There you go. Now get back
Well,
out there.
because I'm glad you said them two. Because was it not last season, the season before when Arteta thought he could square up to Klopp, and basically there's Klopp squaring up to him, and then Arteta's looking around, holding his arm out, and opening the coaching staff are going to hold his arm.
It was right, yeah.
There was no one there,
funny.
and there's old Klopp.
Oh, that
fucking,
was hilarious.
yeah, come on then. Oh shit.
That was hilarious. It was like, back with your mates and stuff, and then your mate starts some trouble, but he don't really want it.
Yeah.
And then he's like trying to get his hold his arm. Oh, if my mate weren't here, you know what I mean? Or they get behind the table. Well, if this table weren't here, I'd smash your head in and all this. It was pretty much like that, wasn't it? To be honest, but yeah, I mean, do you think they'll ever get it right? I don't, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't think football fans stick together enough to say we don't want this. We're not having this.
Yeah, there's that, and I think the problem is, I mean, you say obviously like having ex-players in, because I think the problem is when you're using ex-referees, you got to remember at the end of the day, and that some of these referees' decisions and that the stick they got over the years, they don't forget, do they? So it's a case of, yeah, we'll do things to a certain standard, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So really, as I said earlier, if they're going to stick with VAR, they've got to really revamp it and really get the right personnel in, and don't get referees in. Let them do what they're supposed to be doing, refereeing the game.
Yeah.
End of. Let someone else, basically, when you think about it, if something's not going right, you could bring an adjudicator in.
Yeah.
And they're non-biased. They're doing it, and that's what you've got to do with VAR, and that's the only way I think you're going to get around it.
I thought you were going to say non-binary then. TV, TV love the drama, absolutely, and Sky love it. I mean, look at the way that they always look at Ramsdale when, what's his name, Raya makes a mistake, and if Ramsdale makes a mistake, they always look straight at Raya. Oh yeah, they love to create a story, 100%.
Well,
that was so funny. Hold me back, fellas.
Yeah, fellas.
I love stuff like that. Makes me laugh.
Do you remember October when I think it was Man City lost the game, or Arsenal won the game, and I can't remember, was it Martin Tyler? I think coming out with that great comment. The Premier League is wide open now. It's because they've got that result, and it's one game, and we're in October. What?
Oh, they don't all talk some crap.
Jesus.
At the end of the day, here's Drew Gunners. Big up,
big up, Drew.
So Steve Cooper has been sacked. What now for Forest? Nuno Espresso, Santos. I don't know. Yeah, Nuno. Yeah, whatever. Ask Early Doors because I don't know how to say his name. I'll have to work that one out.
See, Anthony Herbert's working for Slow Sports News.
Oh my days! Hey, really? What? Are you serious? Serious? Has Cooper been fired? Man, I mean, you know what? I must be psychic because I've just done a video that says "Thank you, Steve Cooper," so I must have known. I mean, I might have to do the lottery and stuff like that. Just realized,
I thought you had "Thank you, Steve Cooper" because you mentioned name in the press conference. That's the reason why you're saying "Thank you much, Steve." Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. I did, Carl Rossi. All right, mate. How's everyone?
The legend, Carl. How are we doing, Carl?
Crack lads, just finished work. I'm shattered.
Rest up, mate. Well, Rest up and enjoy.
And so Steve Cooper's gone. We got Nuno, wherever his name is, Santos, coming in. He'll just be Dave as well. I'm not bothering the name, so he'll just be Dave. Right, so we got him coming in, and we'll see how we go. It's understandable, to be honest. If you're not getting the results, then you're going to lose your job, aren't you? That's what it's all about. It's a results business at the end of the day. I think the one thing that's annoying me is the way the papers and the media's trying to find little things, reasons, and all this, that, and the other. It's down to the fact that he's lost in 13 games. It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we keep VAR, it also needs specific cameras rather than trying to use the ones designed to optimize the viewing experience. Also, why we're using humans and not computers. Computers can calculate in seconds. Yeah, absolutely. But then you might get people saying, "Oh, they've messed about with the computer, and it's dodgy. The computer's dodgy, and all that kind of stuff." But I mean, I don't know why they don't have cameras above the pitch.
Well, no, simple one
On the
there.
blimps
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
you have a track system on the pitch itself, and all he's got to do, just the ball camera's just run along the length of the pitch there and there, and also he'll pick it up, clear as day, straight line.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. I mean, we'll have Terminators as referees. It's like, I don't think you'll get many players arguing with them, do you? Ref, there's no way that yellow, you prick. No, he just turns around and goes, Sarah Connor. Yeah, I don't think you get many. Need RoboCop. That's who we need as the referees. You see Arteta arguing with RoboCop. He just picks him up.
Take him out.
Yeah, just throws him away. 12 likes, guys. Big up to you. Big up to Early Doors for coming on as well. Just a general football chat. Obviously, the Forest news, which I've only just found out thanks to Anthony. That Cooper's been fired. It's actually on the website now. I'm actually going to read it out, which is going to be great because I'm not reading very well at the moment, to be honest. 7, 12, 24, 39, 42, lottery numbers, anyone. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. We're going to big up to everybody from Carl. Stephanie says, speak to the hand. Anthony Irwin says, sorry guys, it just came up on my phone. I'm bored this shopping. It's on it. I'm going for a pint. Yeah, enjoy your
you
pint,
enjoy.
mate.
Yeah, exactly.
You've earned that, mate. You've deserved that, to be honest. Great to see you, Early Doors Live. Absolute legend. Absolutely. Got 13 likes now, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll subscribe to you as well. Let's have a look at this statement. If it's too long, I'm gonna Right, okay. Steve Cooper was today been. See, I got it wrong already. Steve Cooper has today been relieved of his duties as head coach of Nottingham Forest following a spell of over 2 years in charge. The person that broke the news was Anthony Herbert before anybody else. Cooper departs the City Ground, having played an integral part in Forest's return to the Premier League, cementing himself firmly into the club's rich history after guiding the Reds back into England's top flight. Appointed as head coach appointed as head coach in September 2021, Steve galvanised Forest's extraordinary rise up the championship table and into the playoffs, culminating in memorable win over Huddersfield Town at Wembley Stadium in May 2022, which we had to thank VAR for, to be honest, because it got that wrong. He then went on to manage the team for 55 matches. Owner Aaron Evangelankis, Mary Nickers, said everyone at Nottingham Forest would like
Mary Nickers.
Everyone at Nottingham Forest would like to thank Steve for his superb contribution to our football club. His achievement in guiding Forest back to the Premier League will undoubtedly remain an iconic moment in the club's history. We thank Steve for his dedication and commitment during his time with us, as well as the incredible impregnable. Fucking hell, here we go. Incredible connection he forged with our supporters in the city of Nottingham. Steve will always remain a friend of the club and will forever be welcomed at the City Ground. We wish him well in his future endeavours. The club will make a further announcement on the appointment of a new head coach in due course. P.S. Fuck off, Steve. Oh my days,
mate. That's got to be the best slide of the evening. Best slide of the evening. Oh mate.
Evangelankis Mary Nickers. I mean, I don't know. Mind you, I'll tell you what, if he ever watches this, I'm going to end up dead. You do know that, don't you? Because he is well known as like mafia and all that kind of stuff. So if I wake up, I've got fucking Dobbin's head on me pillar.
I was going to say, well, listen, no, it's been a pleasure being on the stream with you. It might be the last one, but it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll just probably be the Christmas stream. 1 minute I'll be talking, next minute it'll be like, and I'm gone, I'm dead. But actually, what I'll do is if they are going to shoot me, Anthony, you seem to get the news for everybody else, so let me know that they're actually targeting me. Carl Rossi says just tuned in for 2 minutes and I'm already laughing. Yeah, big up, man. Hopefully it makes your day better.
Good,
Man.
that's what we're on about.
We've
We've always said this, Yeti, didn't we? You know, the Yeti and Baldy show and that, you know, get people laughing.
Oh my days. 14 likes, big up, guys. Big up every single one of you, man. And like and subscribe, and I'll subscribe to you guys 100%. Steve Cooper can chase his dream now and sell the big issue. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, definitely. Well, actually, he can get the ring and take it to Mordor, to be fair. No, he don't do that, does he? Where's it? My precious. So yeah, he can go on to do that. And if he ends up managing Crystal Palace, you know, they can take all the jibes about how ugly their manager is instead of us, I suppose. So, well, I mean, Nuno, wherever his name is, ain't no bloody model, is he? Really?
Nuno Cafe Espresso.
Yeah. Great steam, guys, from Stephanie. If you need to go to the Lamb Yeti, give me a DM. Nah, I'm all good, man. Right, we're gonna call it there. It's been an awesome chat. I've really enjoyed it. It's absolutely awesome to see you back on and doing your YouTube and everything like that.
Thanks, mate.
How long does the prison let you out for, anyway?
I've only got until 10 more minutes, and then I'm off again.
Yeah. You have to put the face muzzle on you as well,
That's the one,
Hannibal Lecter. Right. Anyway, mate. So if you want to shout your stuff out, then go for it, man. In fact, you know what? I tell you what, Anthony, you shout his stuff out because you'll know what he's going to say before he does.
Oh, mate. Yeah, as you know, it's Early Doors Football TV. Back on, enjoying content with great guys like Yeti and all you wonderful people in the chat. It's good to be back, and just shows like this is what it's all about, isn't it? At the end of the day,
absolutely.
That's what it's all about. So no, 100%. Thanks, mate. Thanks for asking me to come on.
Anytime, man. Anytime. I've been wanting you to come back on because all the other ones I have on, they're wankers, they are, mate. I mean, you know, you've always been my favourite, and that's what I say to every one of them when they're sat there. You see, and you know, that's how you keep friends. You see, you have to tell them, you know, make sure they feel welcome, and then tell them to fuck off when they're not here. But Carl Rossi says Crystal Meth Palace if he joins. 100%, man. 100%. Stephanie says Ruud van Nistelrooy's head on Yeti's pillow incoming. Yeah, probably what it is, you know. Oh my God. I wonder how much I get for that on eBay. Ruud van Nistelrooy's head. That could be pretty good, actually. Not that I want head off Ruud van Nistelrooy. Let's just clear that one up. Right. Drew Gunners is laughing. And Stephanie Griffiths says Ruud's head on a pillow. Yeah, absolutely. Carl Rossi says that, actually, not Stephanie. Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure to see you all. Have a pleasant evening, everyone. Yeah, and same to you, Si. Always a real one, man. Yeah. All of you are awesome that come in here, man. I really do respect it. We're gonna have big things going on next season. Not next season, I mean next year. You know, I've got a lot of shows planned and stuff. I'll have early doors on a lot of shows, and you know, there's a lot of things going to be going on. I'm really going in. I want to, you know, really try and make something of this, and you know, but again, I only want quality over quantity. That's always going to be the case. If you're an absolute fucking bellend, you won't last long, to be honest, because I'm not having that kind of shit in here. Because I've got good people, and I don't want them I want them to come in here and enjoy themselves, not have to deal with your stupid ass. So, you know, I mean, sorry, Early Doors, I forgot you were still there.
I was going to say, yeah, thanks for inviting me on. My one and only show with you. I've just been insulted. Thanks very much. Next time.
Steve Cooper is what Lee Gunner would look like if he became a crackhead. Oh my days!
Brilliant.
Big up to Lee. Big up to Arsenal History and More, who was in earlier. Make sure you follow Arsenal History and More. Drew Gunners on Twitch playing games. Make sure you go over and watch Drew Gunners play games. I'm not sure what kind of games he plays. I don't know if you need an 18 certificate to watch it. I don't know. You'll have to ask him that one, I'm afraid. Carl Rossi says, nice one. And Size says, yeah. Top job, guys. Right, okay, guys.
Before you go, mate.
Yeah.
Drew
One
Gunners
more
put
thing.
up. Drew Gunners, yeah, exactly. Drew Gunners put up some lottery numbers. The only thing he didn't do was the 2 lucky stars. Come on, we need them numbers as well.
Well, yeah. Mind you, have you got any stars?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah,
Oh, West Ham.
I see them on the weekend. Oh no, sorry, I thought you meant do I see stars? Yeah, only on the weekends.
Oh my days! Oh my days!
Hot Fuzz is in the just coming on as well. So
Big up to you, Hot
yeah,
Fuzz, mate. Just go back to end it now, buddy. But cheers for dropping in and that. Like I say, love you all. You're all absolute legends. PlayStation 5 and PSVR 2 content. Yeah, so make sure you follow Drew Gunners on Twitch. He's always playing the games and stuff. So make sure you go and watch him. And also just make sure you support everybody, man. That's what it's all about. And Opfuzz, also make sure you follow Opfuzz44. Did a cracking show with him last night, talking about sphincters and all that kind of stuff. You know how it is. But you know, it's always random. You know, we're football fans, but we also just talk about whatever. In the house, big up, buddy. Yeah, big up to Opfuzz, big up to you, Stephanie, as well. Carl Rossi sending the links out to everybody for early doors, so make sure you subscribe to early doors. And big up everybody. It's a number short too, by the way. And Opfuzz says big up Steph. Drew Gunners link is also there as well. So yeah, make sure you follow Lou Gunners. Lou. Make sure you follow Drew Gunners. I mean, Lou Gunners. Who the hell's that? That must be Lee's toilet name, I suppose, is it? Lou Gunners. Right, anyway, playing Ratchet and Clank Rift port at the moment. I love that. The old games, the old Ratchet and Clanks.
Ratchet and Clank, bloody hell,
Mandy muscles. And there's Opfuzz's link as well. Big up to Carl. Big up to everybody that's in here, guys. You're absolute legends, and I appreciate you coming in and listening to me talk absolute bollocks. It's you can't beat people like that, really. Right, okay. So we're gonna go now. But anything more to say, early doors?
No, I think we've covered
just
it all.
One more thing.
Just one more thing. One more thing.
Right. What I was thinking of, to finish it, I thought we'd really express how much we love the chat. Because, I mean, I always do. I always say, like, you know what? I love you guys so much.